My name is Dr. Magare Gikenyi. I'm a consultant general surgeon working at the county government of Nakuru. I'm also a resident of Nakuru County. I'm a humble family man. I was born and raised in a village in Kisii County called Mokonga Village, Pasimasige East location, Uvasi constituency in Kisii County. It's part of Nyanza. So then I grew up in that school called Mokonge. Then I also went to Bokasaka Primary School, then Nyamaruma Primary School, then Yakemoni Primary School. Then after that, I went to Kisii High School for my secondary school. After that, I also did another school, another secondary school called Yakemoni Secondary School. That's where I finished. I did my degree, my first degree, bachelor's degree, at the University of Nairobi, where I finished. I completed my master's of Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery in the year 2007. When I was in the University of Nairobi, I also was involved in what they call student politics. I was a student faculty rep and a campus rep by that time, representing rights of students in that level. So after finishing and working for various hospitals, I went for my master's at Moi University in the year 2013 to pursue my 4-year course in the Masters in General Surgery. So the process was well until around the 4th year when I was about to finish. And I was in theater. Normally in theater we just keep discussing about once in a while politics, both international and and the national politics. So that time there was politics between Trump and Hillary Clinton. So on that time I was supporting. Of course I didn't have votes, just like the way you can have some support for US presidents. So that time was between Hillary Clinton and Donald J. Trump. So that time I was supporting Trump because in my view he had good policies. But at that time, one of the American visiting professor who came to Moi University and they were operating with her. She was supporting Hillary Clinton. So after that, I think she got offended why I'm supporting Trump. Although I didn't have a vote, I think she had a vote. Me, I didn't have. So I think from that, then he also said that I'm also not a good doctor. There was even a time I went for a funeral. Our colleagues said that I should not have won. I should have done many other things. But I think he used that case. Then he wrote a letter to the chairman of the department to complain that I'm generally not a good doctor. After that, the chairman forwarded the case to the dean. But then dean was called Professor Ukoya Tore. Ukoya Tore then by that time decided to suspend him even without giving me an opportunity to be heard. When I came from my holiday, when I was about to even finish and do my graduate, then I just found a suspension letter that I'm supposed to go home. And then I asked myself, you didn't even tell me what mistake I've done. Just a suspension letter with a couple of allegations without giving me time to be heard. So because of that, I moved to court. In fact, that's the first time I was with the court in the court corridors. I moved to court for a judicial review of certiorari, essentially to quash that letter because you can't be condemned and heard. What they call rules of natural justice. So by that time, the case was heard before Justice Muredi had the certificate of actions, and another judge also had the main case, which essentially the court agreed with me that you cannot suspend a student without giving him or her opportunity to be heard. So essentially the case was quashed, and I continued my studies. Even before the case reached the final, I already got an injunction orders. So that injunction orders assisted me to complete school as the case was being determined in court. So essentially that's how it was. Then I finished my master's. I also went to fellowship in general surgery. I did and completed fellowship with FCS general surgery, whereby that's fellow College of Surgeons, FCS in COSEXA program. So I finished masters, M.Med general surgery, and also did FCS, which is fellowship in general surgery. So I have a fellowship and a master's degree, in addition to other courses which we're undertaking. So because of that, I just came back to the county. That time I had already been suspended. My salary had already been stopped even by the county. So I had a couple of problems. The count, the university suspended you, the county has stopped your salary. Even the hospital also has also suspended from working there. So all of them I went to court, but with God's luck, they always say that justice is slow, but it tends to bend towards the truth. May be long, but generally justice or the court or truth tends to bend towards the truth. And I was vindicated. I completed my course in masters in fellowship. I'm now a county employee. I was a county employee. I never stopped being one, and I'm still serving patients. I really love. I have a passion for surgery. But if a week or 2 or 3 days ends without doing a surgery, I feel very bad. I like doing surgeries. I like my patients. So that's my passion. That's where my passion is. Patients and surgery, specifically surgeries. So that's why I do surgeries, I do clinics, I do ward rounds, I make decisions. I also like training my younger junior doctors so that they can be better doctors in the future. So even when I get old, I know there's somebody who will take care of me. In addition to doing surgery, I also like what I call the rule of law and constitutionalism. So any spare time I find, if there's a bad aspect, what I consider not constitution, I move to court. Court is an open, is for everyone to argue his case or his or her case, and the court will decide. So the process of filed many petition more than 20 plus. And essentially what I want is I want a better society and an inclusive society. I always believe that because of my growing up, I grew up in a very poor family background, whereby we had challenges of food, where to sleep, and even once sometimes we can go to fetch the water water from our spring. We used to be chased away by some of our neighbors' boys. So I said, when I grow up, I will want to ensure that I fight for justice, so that our society is better and has equal opportunity for all the people. Of course, this litigation is a lot of tedious. To prepare petition takes a very long time. Number two, it needs money to file. So that small amount of money which I have is the one I use to file in court. Because when you file a case, you through the e-filing portal, automatically the invoice comes. So you have to pay before the judge can see it. So I have to use my cash, my personal cash, to file these cases. Of course, it's a capital intensive. I used a lot of money to file these cases. But I always say, although I'm struggling to find money to file cases, but I feel happy, especially when justice gets done. Even if I don't succeed, I say that's when we set a precedent for those communities or those state officers who are not doing the right thing to do the right thing. You don't have to succeed. At the end of the day, if you fight for what you think is right, then we live what we call a better society. When we have a better society, everybody's happy. So that's why I always say that in my small, I may not change the world, but I always say in my small way, let me try as much as possible to ensure that there is an inclusive society and any rights violations are dealt with. Otherwise, if we keep quiet, we will never improve from where we are. Okay, what I can say that after the case went to court, of course, the relationship was not good between the visiting professor and the dean and the faculty. But still, sometimes in life, you have to fight for your rights. You don't have to make people happy just for the sake of happiness. The relationship was not good, but all the same, the good aspect in the university has the rules. For you to pass, you need to pass exam and both clinical exam and a written exam. So if someone does not need to like you for you to pass. You're just given an exam where it's marked when there's an external examiner. Then you're also given a clinical exam, also with an external examiner. And if they find, and I was among the best student, even with those poor relationships which we had because of fighting for my rights, when the exams came, I was among the best. But I was number 2 overall when we did our case. And I was even my degree very well. When I passed, even the university also tried to to allow me to graduate, but at the end of the day, I graduated through because I followed all the due process. because the exam I was given, I passed very well. I was given a clinical exam, passed very well. Then I was allowed to graduate.